Little People, Big Worlds. Matt Roloff reunites with son Zach Roloff amid family tension.
This is a story about distance. Not physical distance,
but the kind that grows quietly between a father and a son when words go unsaid, expectations go unmet, and pride gets in the way of healing. For years, viewers of Little People Big World have watched the Roloff family grow, fracture, and struggle in front of millions. What began as a heartfelt look at family life slowly turned into something more complicated.
Fame changed the dynamic. Money raised the stakes. And the Roloff farm became more than land.
It became a symbol of legacy, control, and loss. At the center of it all stood Matt Roloff and his son Zach Roloff. And for a long time, they were not speaking the same language. This documentary explores how a fractured relationship reached its breaking point, what really caused the rift, and why their recent reunion matters more than fans realize.
This is not just about a meeting. This is about years of silence finally cracking.
When Little People Big World first aired, Matt Roloff was portrayed as the driven patriarch. A man with vision. A man who built something from nothing.
The farm was his pride.
Every fence post, every attraction, every expansion was tied to his sense of purpose. Zach, on the other hand, grew up in the shadow of that vision. As a child, he was quiet, thoughtful, and often overlooked. He carried his own dreams, but those dreams did not always align with his father's relentless push for growth and control. As Zach became an adult, the differences between them became harder to ignore.
The tension did not explode overnight. It simmered. Disagreements about the farm slowly turned personal. Conversations became transactional.
Love felt conditional. And eventually, trust broke. The turning point came when the future of the Roloff farm was on the table. For years, fans assumed Zach would inherit the property.
It seemed logical. He was the eldest son with dwarfism. He had emotional ties to the land. He had spoken openly about wanting to raise his children there.
But what seemed obvious to viewers was not so simple behind closed doors.
Negotiations reportedly fell apart.
Expectations clashed.
Matt viewed the farm as a business asset. Zach viewed it as family history.
Neither side felt heard. And when talks collapsed, something deeper broke. Zach and his wife Tori made a decision that shocked fans.
They moved away.
Not just from the farm, but from the emotional center of the family.
The distance was not subtle. It was loud in its silence.
Scenes once filled with warmth now felt strained. Family gatherings became rare. Conversations felt guarded.
And viewers began to notice something painful. Zach was grieving. And Matt seemed defensive. Matt spoke publicly about being misunderstood. About wanting fairness. About business realities.
But what many viewers heard was a man protecting his legacy at the cost of connection. Zach, meanwhile, stopped engaging publicly.
His pain played out in absence.
The show continued, but the heart of it felt fractured.
Years passed.
Birthdays came and went. Grandchildren grew. Milestones happened without the full family present. And then something changed. Quietly, without dramatic announcement, Matt and Zach were seen together again.
The reunion did not come with fireworks.
It came with restraint.
Cautious body language. Careful words.
But it happened. For longtime viewers, this moment mattered. Because reconciliation in real families is rarely cinematic.
It is awkward. It is uncomfortable. It is filled with unresolved hurt. This was not a full repair. It was a crack in the wall.
Sources close to the family suggest that the reunion was not about the farm.
It was about time. About aging. About grandchildren.
About the realization that pride costs more than compromise. Matt has spoken more openly about regret in recent years.
About wishing he had handled things differently. About understanding now what he did not before.
Zach, too, has softened.
Parenthood changed his perspective. Distance gave him clarity. But clarity does not erase pain. The reunion was reportedly emotional.
Not dramatic, but heavy. The kind of conversation where both sides know they cannot undo the past, only choose what comes next. For fans, this moment symbolized something larger. It showed that even deeply fractured relationships can shift, not because one side wins, but because both sides decide the fight is no longer worth it. The Roloff family story has always been about more than television. It is about what happens when family becomes brand, when legacy becomes leverage, and when love gets tangled with ownership.
Matt Roloff is not a villain.
Zach Roloff is not ungrateful. They are two men shaped by different values, trying to navigate loss in different ways.
The farm may never belong to Zach.
The past may never be rewritten. But reconciliation does not require agreement. It requires humility. This reunion does not mean everything is fixed.
Boundaries remain. Wounds remain. Trust takes time.
But it does mean the door is no longer closed. And sometimes, that is enough to change everything. As Little People Big World continues to evolve, one question remains. Was this reunion the beginning of healing, or simply a moment of peace in a long, complicated story?
Only time will answer that. But for now, one thing is clear.
This was not just a meeting.
It was a choice.
And in families like this, that choice is everything.